So, Cornhead. It's a 2208. They're on 30-inch rows. And just gonna check the gearboxes and the like. Here on this side, on eight rows, you have your two gearboxes, 80/90. Like that's got oil. I'll be honest, I'm surprised it's not high tran. Or 85/140. Given Case's tendency to prefer those two oils versus 80/90 hypoid. That one looks a little more iron. I want to say irony, but it's just red. It's not hypoid color. So I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna see if there's a procedure to change this oil, because that's just disgusting. May end up just pumping out and refilling. These boxes are easy, you just look at them. I mean, it's really hard to tell. I need to go get my light. I believe I changed those boxes last year. I mean, this head doesn't do that many acres. Yeah, that's good oil. I'm gonna change that box. That is just disgusting. It's red clay almost. Check this other 2-speed. Yeah, there's oil there. So those boxes are done, and we're just gonna leave them on the low speed, because that's where you're supposed to leave them by default. This box here, we're gonna change that oil, because that's terrible. That color should not be that. So I need to find me a coffee can real fast, or some sort of tub. I concede to a McDonald's bucket. I mean, the steel one would be nice, but I don't think I need that heavy of a, I don't need a steel pan because it's not hot oil. In there. Open up the top plug. So breathe. That's just red, like clay, like a clay red. And it honestly smells like crap as well. Get my suction pump. I get a pump here actually. I'm gonna see if I can pull out most of that oil. my Harbor Freight transfer pump out. And given it's used oil, I'm not too worried. I just need the inline, honestly. I'm just gonna send this in from the top if I can now. Now I can't get that all out of there. I'm going to have to open up this plate here, which weirdly enough is metric. But this thing was built in the era, so I think this head was built somewhere around 2004, which is when a lot of American, well, and I think 2000s is when C&H was bought out by Fiat, so that's why it's all metric and standardized sizes so for international export. I need my metric system, my 3/8 metrics. So one thing I love about equipment of this era is that half of it's SAE, half of it's metric, or some weird somewhere in between. What are these gonna be? No, it's gonna be 13. Where's my 13? I have 14, 11, 12, 10, 14, 15. Where's my 13? I'll just get my 13 deep at this rate. Okay, I had to take that call. These 4 bolts to this inspection plate. 13 millimeter. And the pungent smell of burnt gear oil. Hypoid, whatever you call this. I swear manure smells better than this stuff. And while I'm in this box, yeah, look at all that crap. Try and I know I'm not going to be able to get every single drop out of here, but just aside the fact that this just looks like crud. Brown. See if I can get some sludge out of it. Throw a little, do a bit of a flush out of it. Alright, let that dry out a minute, two. So I got the bucket out here, put the alcohol in it, but I don't think it's gonna grab most of the stuff. So the solution to pollution is dilution. Because it should be this green color, and it's almost red, almost clay color. So I need to grab my pump again. But anyways, that's corrected. I will document in the book that the right gearbox is changed. The left one looks okay in color, I'll be honest. Okay, hold on. Nope, wrong way. I will need to write on this with a paint pen, in and out, before I coat myself in more high point oil. Keep kind of pumping it till it clears up a bit. Yeah, that looks pretty clear now. Oop. I want to put those there. One, two, three, four. Put that there. I'm gonna take the pump out. Where does this sound? I'm going to take the pump out of here. I'm just going to blub it in the 1.5 quarts. I need to go get a couple paper towels to set that on. Yeah, I can't believe that. I thought I changed that, and now and last year I ran that oil in that box. That color. That's terrible. And I thought I kept a good upkeep on my equipment. And now I am sad. Just set it on there. Flow. There we go. Let that flow down a little bit. And I don't, where did I put the plugs? Ah. So that's got fresh oil in it. And since I got this open, there's actually a list of things to do. This is just plastic, so you just make that tight, and that just lubes the chain. Splash lubes the chain. So this here will be done for the moment. My hands smell like gear oil, and I intrinsically hate it. On it. Maintenance. Okay, row unit drive shaft chain. Used on both sides of the 8 and 12 row heads. Make sure each head is low fully so it doesn't spill oil. Remove inspection cover. Check tension. Loosen idler sprocket, mount bolt. Move the idler to position where tension. Torque idler to 150 foot-pounds. Jesus. Adjust chain tension so moderate finger pressure applied midway. The drive and driven sprockets. Change to deflect roughly 7/16 of an inch, give or take a 1/16. Rotate sprockets. Making allowance and adjustment for sprocket run out. Maintain 1/2 inch at the tightest point. So I'm just gonna, easiest thing to, so just stick it, my finger in there, I guess, see if it moves, see if I can get that, yeah, that is definitely more than a half. Yeah, that's more than a 1/2 inch. I'd say that's close to an inch. Yeah. Oh, and that's metric. So now I've got to, now I really need to check the other side, because I thought, oh, I'll just change the oil and throw it back together. No. And it's metric, so yay. Now I gotta figure out which size. I'm gonna go with an 18 real fast. You know, I have a feeling it's gonna be a 22. Now that I'm thinking about it. And I'm going to need this. I can't believe that that's supposed to be that tight. It's a lot of tension if you ask me, but I didn't design it. Let's try 22. Nope, it's gonna be a 24. Go figure. There's something about CNH and 24 millimeters I will never understand, because it doesn't come with the standard set I bought, so I had to go out and specifically buy a 24. But given that immense torque spec, I don't know what size thread that it is. because I don't know my metric threads, honestly. So I can use this for both loosening and tightening. It's 150 foot-pounds, so it's not going to just pop. Considering my options, okay, we're gonna try the breaker bar here first, and then if not, the impact, just to break it free. Then I got a pry bar. Well, I'm just gonna. Okay. There we go. So now I just gotta get a pry bar in there. I can press that down a little bit and put it back down. There we go. Cinch that back down. Now how much play? That's better. That's at 150 foot-pounds. Yeah, so 203 Newton meters, and this is Newton meters. Yes, tension, move idler position where chain is proper, 203 Newton meter, 150 foot-pounds. Yeesh. So in other words, good and tight. A little more than German spec. There's 150. That's tight. Heck of a lot better deflection. So take cover here. Find the correct orientation and put it back together. Oop. Alright. Cinch this down. Oop. Okay. That's that side. I'll clean up my oil mess here real fast and we'll go to the other side and check its tension. The left side, same song, second verse. Pop open your 4 bolts here. So I'm gaining access to the left side now. Copy paste as the other side. Just about as bad. That chain looks relatively new as well, or is it? Or it's probably the fact it sits in oil bath. So. That's better, more taunt. So, not that hard to really do. Adjust the tension. One. Now really the only other thing we have really to do on here is I need to check all the gearboxes. Now on these later model corn heads, like on our 1000 series, or 6 that we got rid of, well, this will be the 2nd year of running an 8-row corn head with an 8-row planter. So, well, I got rid of it last year, last spring of 25. But the boxes were 85 140. You put 85 140 in, on a dipstick and you ran with it. You didn't. Now this, on these 2200 Case IHs, are a little more complicated because these use cornhead grease instead of heavyweight gear oil. Which is honestly has the consistency of sludge. It's when it warms up, it melts down into a heavyweight gear oil, but at room temperature, it's essentially a solid. But it's a pain in the butt to pump because you have to use a grease gun to inject it. However, yep, you use a grease gun to inject it, but when you store it, you have to put it away because otherwise you have to pull the tension off the, not the tension, but the compression off the grease gun, off the tube itself, or else you risk putting the, I'm gonna say it's ½ inch, but if I could finish myself without interrupting myself. The grease gun is such a thin oil, not even, well, heavy oil, thin grease, that it'll leak behind in the tube and then you just have a mess because the tube goes around the diaphragm that pushes the oil out. Now, is it a 9/16? No, it's probably something stupid in metric. Because I thought I went and bought a special tool just for it. Well, I mean, these will work. I thought I bought, that's a Torx. Here it is a 9/16. Because I went and bought one specifically because I didn't realize I had this set of Allen drivers. And then essentially you have the 4 zerts. You got 2 zerts on each side for the two zerts for each drive shaft, and each drive shaft runs 4 rows. Now I forget the specification. It's like 2 inches below the okay, let's see here. This is maintenance. Maintenance, deck plates, service, PT. Okay, row unit gearboxes. Remove each gearbox. Check level every 300 hours or once per season. Correct level is when it's 2 inches below top of gearbox. Before adding grease to the fitting, back plug, move check plug. Failure could result in seal damage. Okay. I mean, to find 2 inches down. What I'm gonna probably need to do, actually, here's what I will do, is I'm gonna create my own dipstick. I just gotta find a nut for this. Well, actually, these are 2.5ers. And I know that, so. Actually, where are my 3/8 by 2s? I'm making this more complicated than I need to. My own dipstick. Because this here is known to be 2 inches down, so if this touches grease, we're good. Otherwise, I need to go get my corn head grease, which I keep in the basement so it doesn't ooze everywhere. Hoping I don't have to, because I get very annoyed by corn head grease. Thought about it. There's the bottom. There's your 2-inch. I could fill this from the top, honestly. It's just barely 2 inches down, so I'm gonna put 5 pumps. So I'm gonna go grab that grease gun real fast. Okay, I got my corn head grease gun out. And just as a demonstration of how thin this stuff is, it's borderline oil. So I'm just gonna put 5 pumps in here. Did it need 5 pumps? Probably not. But that way it's within the 2 inches of the top. But those are the boxes checked and filled. Like I said, it'd be a lot easier if they just used good old 85 140 hypoid. But no, they gotta be special. Alright, I'm gonna go put the corn head grease back away. I'm gonna go take 5 because I'm sweating like heck. So here's the book. 300 hours, 10 pumps of grease every 300 hours. Unless it was one of the first 3,500 heads, which this one is not, so. So 10 pumps of grease. And then if one slips, you need to put 10 more pumps in. So 2 per row, so that means 16 pumps. Which means I need to get my piece of cardboard to lie on. Give me a piece of cardboard. Thought I had a foam mat somewhere around here. Can't find it, so. What was this from? Oh, look, an little electric stove. Not stove, fireplace space heater thingy. And once again, we'll start here on row 8 and work our way down the list. Well, I shouldn't say down the list, but down the row. And then there's just the 4 on the power line, power shaft, what do you call it? Which isn't that hard, so. So, I'm grabbing my hose. I think I'm gonna want the hose gun. How's our grease level? Now we're gonna have to probably change that tube soon. And I'm gonna want my Fry Daddy. I think that was part of a fryer at one point, or some old pressure cooker. I think it's actually what it was. Where did I put that jug of fuel? It's still outside. I will admit, this heat and humidity is kicking me in the butt, so. But I want to get this done today, because I got stuff I got to do tomorrow. Which means, so I'll have Monday, and honestly, who knows what I mean, I really should be paying better attention to the weather forecast. Oop. that's everything done on this 2208. All right, shut stuff down. That's it. That's all. Next will be the cart, which I'll probably do here in a couple days, because we're only at, if I can get my phone out here, the 16th. So probably in a week or so we'll get that out. But until then, that's the corn head. See you on the next video.